So, Adi, speaking to you after you've signed your new contract with the football club, are you pleased to sign that contract?
Yeah, very pleased. It's been a really interesting journey over the last couple of years. A lot of ups and downs, a lot of changes along the way, but I think the work of everybody, all the staff, is moving along quite nicely. There's still the biggest hurdles to come, but I've enjoyed playing a part in it and what I'm being asked to do, and I love coaching, so I love being on the grass and I like working with players, and there's been quite a few changes with the playing personnel over the 2 and a bit years, and we've got a really good group at the moment that want to learn.
You signed the contract after the manager signed his contract. You said that you're vital to the club. How important is that relationship you've got with the manager?
I think manager and assistant manager or coach, whatever you like to be called, is vital because you're trying to implement his ideas onto the training pitch. I think we're able to talk quite frankly. I challenge him. I think he's honest to say that, probably in a good way, and sometimes he maybe feels that there's a lot to take in. But we sort of go around it and get around it. I play devil's advocate with him, so I think that's the role I play. If he says things to me, I look at the scenarios around it. We always talk about all the stuff, but generally with the manager about the what ifs, and if we're looking to implement certain things within training, within matches, how long is that process? There's a lot of stuff, detailed stuff that goes in every day. And he's been very brave because obviously my background is completely different to his. So he's been brave to try and implement the ideas that he wanted me to bring to get the best out of me working with him. I think that's the way it would have to work. And we bounced along a little bit, and we obviously, like anybody, we don't always agree eye to eye, but he's the manager. We come round to a common goal. At the end of the day, his decision is vital. He picks the team. I tell the players this all the time. Manager picks the team. I just do what he asks me to do to work with the players that he selects and the players he doesn't select, and we try and improve them every day.
Was it interesting for you, having not worked with the manager on the coaching side, you played with him? Was it a challenge to come in and then challenge his opinions, or?
Well, I mean, we don't, we only played for 1 year together. I mean, obviously the manager in his previous roles has taken some younger players from Chelsea's development squads on loan. So we've spoken a few times on the phone. Yeah. I think the last time I saw him before I came in, I was presenting at the National Conference in Wales. We both did our pro licence there. And I presented there, and he was in the audience, and spoke to him, in the bar area after, and we just chatting like we normally would, catching up to see how we are. But when I got the call, obviously in the very sad circumstances around it, I'd just been on holiday, and obviously I'd only been 4 months since I left my role at Chelsea, a very demanding, draining role, and I was enjoying having a bit of downtime because I needed it, probably more than I realised. And then when I got the call, it was it was quite interesting initially. As he would know with me, I didn't answer straight away. I did quite a lot of research on the squad that was here, because obviously I had to work out if I could help him. Because it's a long way away, League 2 football, to Champions League of Youth football, that I was preparing players to try and get in the elite, to League 2 players that I didn't really know. But when you looked into the squad, the calibre of players of Mark Minotti and Liam Kelly, our current captain, and Michael Doyle, and many others, the emergence of Shipley and Baelish during that season, then you realise there was a lot of players that could play a good brand of football. But it was an interesting first couple of days when I came in. Very interesting, and I was very honest when he asked me about what I thought, how I could help him, and obviously there would need to be some changes, intensity of training sessions, etc., to get the best out of me working with him. And we've obviously got stronger, the working relationship, as the time's gone on, as is a natural scenario. The same as me with Jason and now Luke. I would hope that they would feel that having somebody who's had a strong development background is certainly a big plus for them, because I take a very keen interest in the way the 23s are working, because obviously I can help in that area as well, and you can see the signs. So we all generally tend to work very well together.
Yeah, you came in during the promotion season. That was an incredible season, wasn't it? And a great day at Wembley.
Yeah, I mean, I look back on it obviously very fondly. You know, I said before in the press that it's up there with my, the greatest achievements I've had. I've been very lucky. I've won a lot of things as a player and, as a coach in development, and it was ranks right up there with it the day at Wembley. But the culmination of the work, it was 8 months of work. I think the semi-final second leg at Notts County epitomised the work coming out of everybody. Incredible performance that was, and the football we played was well above League Two level. And then at Wembley, I think we all felt, first half, I think it was just them waiting for us. I mean, we felt that if we just stepped up, remember at half time, we were just saying it's just 10% more once we got the first goal. I mean, it's going to be a day if Jordan Willis scores goals like that, and Jack scored an even better one, and Shippers, a local boy, scoring at Wembley. And I mean, the fans and the scenes, it was incredible. It still gives you goosebumps when you watch it back now. But it was a massive day for the club, because obviously I'm from Swindon, hometown club. If you look at them, 3 years now in League Two, and it gets harder each year. So to bounce back, immediately was massive for the club. And then since then, I think there's been a very, very fast evolution in terms of players, in terms of the style, and in terms of the sort of player characteristics that the managers look to bring in and implement. And I think you can see that forward curve.
Yeah, was it a challenge for you as a coach, adapting the players from a League Two mindset and a style of play to going up to League One?
I think, well, to be fair, I think the manager, obviously the manager's got, wealth of experience of managing football clubs, so, he knew the dynamic that he wanted. But to play a different brand, I think the brand of style that we implemented last year from League Two was a big change. And when you're bringing in the likes of Sterling from Chelsea and Luke Thomas from Derby, you're changing the dynamic. We had a very fast team. Connor Chaplin came in. We had a different characteristic of players. We wanted to play out from the back, but I think even then we had a very solid first season in League One, really solid season, excellent second half of the season. But this year there's been a bigger dynamic change. I think in terms of the players that fit the way you want to play, and we're certainly the brand of football we're playing now is the sort of football that I like to watch. But I say again that the manager's been very brave to go with that, to let people do their jobs as coaches and implement what he wants to see. And so far so good. But it's natural that there will be players that I think it's very important that Jack Grimmer and Chris Stokes and players like this, people realise that the role they played, Lee Burge, Jordan Willis, in helping us, get to that next stage. But then you're looking for different characteristics, and players change, teams change. I think again the manager's got a lot of experience of that, so I think you just naturally see groups changing. But we've certainly got a very dynamic group now, and as I said earlier, they want to learn. And my job's to improve Carl McFadden at 32, and that's why he came here. He said that to the gaffer when he came. He wants to be improved. He knows he's going to improve here. Liam Kelly at 28, Matty Godden 28. It's not just about improving Sam McCallum at 18. We want to improve all the players, and I think that work ethic of coming in and being the best you can be every single day, that driving of standards, is something that the gaffer and me are very keen on. And obviously I've tried to help him push that as much as I can, because I believe it's right.
Day to day, what is your role as assistant manager? What do you do on a day-to-day basis?
Day to day, I drive in, quite a long drive. We obviously meet with the manager. It depends. It depends on the days of the week, really, Mark. Earlier in the week, if we've got a free week and there's no game, it's different. But if we've got no game, then the early part of the week, the Monday and then Tuesday, you're obviously talking about training sessions, talking about individual player development, talking about how you're going to mould the sessions together. And we probably work, on more general, if you like, maybe with one or two little implements for the week ahead of which team we're going to play and how we can impose our game on them. But really staying strong to our core work of what we're doing. And then later in the week, Thursday, Friday, we'll obviously then build up to the game, what the manager wants us to deliver tactically in terms of the opposition and again what we're going to do, but with a big emphasis on us, and I think that's important. We obviously are aware of the strengths of the opposition teams, but apart from that, individual meetings with players. I do quite a lot of work with the defenders and the goalkeepers on, looking at strikers or wide players we're playing against, how we're going to have to defend in certain spaces. You could do an individual meeting with Matty Godden on chances. There's loads of things that, we talk to the manager will be doing other bits, Jason will be doing other bits, obviously now as first team coach. So we're all working. Paul Travis, the analyst, will be putting all bits together for the manager. There's so many little bits going on. Alan Williams, the goalie coach, has meetings with. So we're all working, but with the same common goal. We just branch off in different areas. And off the pitch is a part of the game I really enjoy as well. And then we'll have staff meetings tactically. The manager will bring us in. He'll sit on his own with the analyst. We'll watch it. I watch it separately to him, and then we'll come together and sort of figure out a game plan. And that's generally how it works. Always talking. Sometimes the two of us. Sometimes all the staff. Sometimes in with other staff. He's very good at managing people, and that's the strength of him. And you got to know when to let him be on his own, and got to know when you feel that you got to try and help him get to the place he wants to be. And I think that's the role, really. That's my role. So very varied work, which I enjoy. Yeah.
And on a match day, most fans will see you taking a warm up before the game. Is that your main role on a match day? Is that something you enjoy doing? I've heard interviews with you in the past where you said that wasn't something I got to do it before. I enjoy being able to do that. Yeah,
I did. Well, obviously when I went into the top end of the development roles at Chelsea, you didn't, because you have the conditioners there of a high level that they implement the warm-ups, or the assistant coach. But it was taking me back to when I first worked with Dermot Drummy, God rest him, who's not here anymore, but with the Youth Cup when I was assistant coach there at Eanes, I used to love being out on the pitch before a big game. So I enjoy it. Me and Jace obviously do it together. Jace does a dynamic passing warm-up. We planned it before the season. We've changed it this year. And then I do some specific movements on team shape, how we're gonna work, how we're gonna play, but just to get the movements in the players' minds, and then back to Jace from individual stuff. So I like being out. I like observing how the opposition players are moving. You might be able to see something. I generally walk in about 20 minutes before, so I nose to see if they're doing any defensive stuff. So you can always pick little bits up. So it is nice to get a feel of the boys as well. Generally before, again, when you're in a development, it's slightly different. Players are generally calm anyway, but the pressure is not as much. But you can sort of tend to see who's not. Gaffer will ask me what I think of the warm-up. He's watched it. I may say I think he needs a little G-up, or he might need a little bit of, encouragement, arm around the shoulder just for kick-off. They're all very different. Players are very different. So that's the skill of a coach. You got those skill sets to see and then try and implement what you need.